What is up, everyone? Welcome back. Finally, after more time than I'd like, I am getting to the Deer Hunter Act 2, the meaning and all things regarding and misleading. Absolutely love to play on words with the title. If you're not familiar with the Deer Hunter, they are a progressive rock band out of Washington State. They were formed in 2005 by main man, composer, vocalist extraordinaire, and multi-instrumentalist Casey Crescenzo. And this is Act 1 and a potential 6 with some side records as well. Correction, this is Act 2 of 6, with the 6th one still being worked on. And there's some side records as well. I did Act 1, originally a Patreon request, and it's been one that the acts have been records that have been highly requested since then as well. Massive thank you to Patreon that originally requested the band and still wanting me to do the rest of the records. Massive thank you to subscriber Matt Gigante. Matt has devoted a lot of his hard work and personal time to putting together these incredible story overviews of each record currently up. He's done the first 2, and it really helps me understand the story like I'd be reading liner notes, and that understanding allows me to do what I do with these records so much better. Allows me to create a better video for all of you, because I'm actually getting a chance to follow the story along and understand it, as opposed to just making guesses to what I think is happening. So huge thank you to both of you guys. Huge thank you to the support for doing these records as well. This is the second record. This is Act 2. This is the meaning and all things regarding misleading. The very first track on the record is The Death and the Birth. And let's get into it, shall we? The band is Deer Hunter. The album is Act 2, the meaning of and all things regarding misleading. The very first track is The Death and the Birth. Here we go. Wow. Already big, bombastic orchestration. First note says that Act 2 takes place roughly 10 years after the events of Act 1 in the mid-1910s. Hunter is now in his late teens. In their secluded cabin by the lake, Hunter returns home one morning to find his mother, Miss Terry, has died in the night. Beautiful, subtle opening the record. The next track is The Procession. Getting some of those heavier influences here. Really like those guitar tones. Really strong bass runs there as well. Very much a cacophony of sounds here in the sonic landscape. There's a lot of different guitar accents, passages, some string work, some noise work going on there. The effects on his voice are really strong. Really cool accents, that subtle piano. Really beautiful string lines. And the xylophone accents are very cool. Wow. Really gorgeous lyrics here. I like that subtle B organ back there. It's a really cool touch. Expected that to kick in, but I like the acoustic interlude there. A like that shouted, almost post-hardcore feeling of those gang vocals. Some would also say there's a Coheed influence there. Beautiful dropout. That really strongly played classical acoustic there. Really cool bass line there. I love how they have that B organ floating right back there above it. Man, that drum work is fantastic. I love how aggressive they are with the crash cymbal work. So many layers. This record is going to take so many more listens than just one to pick out all the intricacies and the compositional brilliance here. That acoustic with that really cool hi-hat work, that semi-jazzy hi-hat work is outstanding. That bass tone is just buttery smooth. I love it. Some really cool liner notes here on the side by Matt. Hunter buries his mother beneath the great tree at the edge of their home with nothing from here. He gathers his belongings and leaves his home at the lake and the river. He must see the world for himself. And mysterious past, and with that, Hunter's life can truly begin. So we get the evolution here of Hunter. Really like how they use this chorus to drive different parts of this track. Wow, that percussion here is awesome. That's a great way to drive that. It's a great way to bridge these tracks. So strong, so many different emotions can be pulled out of this. That's outstanding. The next track is The Lake and the River. That transition was seamless. Got a highlight here, the very first lines, a line reprised from the song 1878 off Act 1, harkening back to the emotions of feeling lost and alone and not knowing what the future holds. Such great work, Matt. I appreciate all your hard work here. Really cool instrumentation, really intricate guitar work, and the orchestration here. Really like that very subtle tremolo rhythm work there in the guitar. The way this track builds, love this massive swing-like jazzy feeling here. Great vocal layering and backing vocals as well. Love the evolution there. Love that percussion. really great when the pianos come in here. The snare has this really cool hollow resonance to it. I love the snare tone they got. Love that lyric and how it's to show that as Hunter makes his way through the forest, the image of his mother still remains fixed in his mind. Wow. This is such an incredibly strong chorus. Love how they put some of that distorted guitar tone in there as well with those big band elements. That's awesome. The symbolism here of the sign seeing left to country, right to town is outstanding. Kind of shows that journey, at least to me. This layering and composition is just incredible. It's almost overwhelming at points. It's a really cool guitar texture that could almost sound like a keyboard texture. It's a really cool effect he's using. I love how that bass tone slid forward in the mix. That's a great touch. His leaves were bold extremities with great control. God, I love that snare tone. So much power and emotion and conviction in his delivery. The control he has in his voice to hit that note and then raise that octave. So impressive, so gorgeous. The song is so full of contrast and different textures. Such a cool vocal effect there to dial it back and make it sound like it's faint with that delay and a bit of reverb there. And a couple of cool effects as well. Wow. What a slick change. The little texture there of the snare and the hi-hat work. I love how the drummer's really keeping that hi-hat open. That's such a cool feeling. cool groove and vibe. That guitar contrast, that counterpoint is awesome. There's that really faint tremolo picked lead. That's a really, really cool accent. This line here at the end, Hunter eventually comes to a clearing, finding a train station in the distance, a chorus. Voices can be heard as a great steam engine approaches. The train rushes by, feels himself being lifted from behind before suddenly being dropped onto the floor of the train car. All right. This piano is beautiful. Certainly doing a great job to craft this landscape. And there's the train. It's a really great shift here. Wow. I love how it almost fits musically with the style of the time, only updated, modernized. Love that very bluesy southern feeling here. That really cool slide guitar is awesome. Such a great choice. Love that. The oomph of that kick sound. That's great. I love how with his compositions, every little instrument, every little note has a purpose and a reason. All right, the next one here is the Oracles on the Delphi Express, and that's going to shift in. Cool violin here. And that shifts seamlessly into track 4. Wow. Great, groovy, swingy vibe here. I love it. Hunter finds himself surrounded by countless figures, old and young, as he scans the room uneasily. They begin to speak, these figures of the Oracles. Awesome. Great combination of all these different elements. Blues, jazz, bluegrass. That's incredible. Big swingy feeling to it. Wow, what incredibly well and incredibly intelligently written lyrics these are. Amazing. The music here is an absolute joy. It's just a treat that continues to get better and better and sweeter as the track and the record continues. Utterly just invested in it, both as a musician a fan, a critic. It's just hooked into me emotionally at this point. Love just how tight this rhythm section is. That bass player is just locked in so well with the drummer, and that groove in the pocket, it's incredible. So the Oracle's attempt to warn Hunter against his current path, hinting at the consequences lie ahead if he does not turn back. The Oracles were the voices singing in Battesimo del Fuoco at the beginning of Act 1, which is very cool. I like that tie-in there. Love these changes and just how well executed they are. Evolution here, the church bells, the more strummed acoustic guitar work here. This is feeding into the next part here. The Oracle's warning is quickly forgotten as the train approaches the city. Hear that rumbling of the train. I love how they put that in the track. Hunter disembarks onto a busy street and is met with the sight of a great church towering over the road. That is awesome. This really is a film in musical format, and it's incredible. Another note here, Matt says, similarly to the pimp and the priest from Act 1, Church in the Dawn functions to further paint the picture of the cold reality that Terry tried so hard to protect her son from. Love how the mix with the drum, the cymbal work changes. The hi-hat's really high here, really prevalent in the mix. That artistic choice is very, very cool. Almost reminds me of something I would hear from a Japanese band like Muck, who changes their tones depending on the song. Love how they stayed on that minor there instead of going major. That's really cool. Wow! What a great moment! Again, that just massive cacophony of sound here. Big, droning B organ, huge drum sounds. Those big gang vocals. And the dropout. Girls perform. He waits alone, playing almost too soon. As the pimp and the priest runs the city's primary brothel to dime, wearing a pig mask to hide his identity. He gives the people of the city a place to indulge in their sinful desires. Very cool. The intensity he gets in that aggressive of his is very, very outstanding. love that snare pattern there as well. It really makes the track, this part of the track, sound bigger. As the priest, he's the father of the city's church, giving the people of the city a place to absolve themselves of the sins they committed at the dime. That is so cool. Really love that concept, the yin and the yang, if you will, the light and the dark. Such a strong groove here too. Don't call it yin and yang because it's truly all about profit. The priest crowds his flock back and forth between the church and the dime, profiting from the endless cycle of manipulation and corruption. Wow. And the more I start to come to understand his compositional style, Casey's compositional style, the end of each track becomes more and more appealing to me because I want to know how he's going to transition, because they do flow so seamlessly into the next track. So I get anxious to hear how the track's going to finish out. Next one is the bittersweet 1 and 2, meeting and misleading and through the dime.
She in the summer smile with
wow.
skin.
The piano with this gorgeous head voice vocal here. Lots of emotion, lots of control. The smoothness and silkiness in his falsetto is incredible. And slowly, suddenly it's dropping in the chest a little bit. That's beautiful. Hunter continues down the city, comes to a seedier part of town. He stops, walks down the road, and stopped by a call from behind him. He turns to see a woman standing in the doorway. Wow. This conversational delivery is beautiful. Great shift. Hunter is captivated by this woman, her movements, and her words. She offers a hand and an invitation to follow her inside. Naively unaware of the fact this woman is a prostitute, Hunter cautiously takes her hand. That piano line is haunting. It makes me feel uneasy. And I love it because it's also really beautiful. Wow. These layers, the way this track slowly but firmly building under this vocal is impressive. Wow. Those string tones back there are so incredibly well executed. Key shift into a swing and a bounce there. Wow. Such a great way to shift that mood. Execute it with piano. I love. Misleading leads Hunter through the door and into the dime. What a great way to completely change the feel of the track. Brilliant. Wow. Outstanding vocals there. That's a great bass line there. Love how it's been allowed to really breathe and drive this part of the track, this passage. The way this piano line constantly shifts and changes the feeling of the track, it's just an incredible feat of composition here. Wow, and that rolls straight into Bittersweet 3, The Embrace. Hunter follows Misleading up the stairs to the next floor into her room. Once the side door closes behind her, and she leads him to the bed.
Hesitation. I fell into her arms.
Wow.
Breathe in. This is amazing. Breathe out. This is amazing.
I don't think I have ever heard a track articulate an experience like this way in the entire time I've listened to music. Love how that built. Those really rich, warm drum tones here, and the incredibly phenomenal job of miking these cymbals, and the cymbals in the mix is beautiful.
Then cold hands. Intrusion, but where? The
Really love the backing vocals with that very last bit of line there. That chorus is such a phenomenal addition to this. Builds this with the act and the narration so well. The addition of the distortion and those little cool lead accents by the guitars. Love how he uses that incredible break in his voice and he allows that to break the way it does, and then uses that as a textural element and that cynicism in his delivery. It's intangible. You just can't teach that to a singer. You either have that kind of ability or you don't.
She had a summer smile with winter skin, and all along with words beyond me, she welcomed me in. We fall.
Really strong change there. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I am completely lost in this right now. This is just absolutely fantastic. Built to that massive peak there and then slowly backs off. Little subtle xylophone element there. It's a great job of building to that climax, if you will. Love how they dialed the bass back and they brought the instrumentation down a little bit. It's a really cool mix trick to make you feel different emotions and add different feel to the soundscape. It's a really phenomenal bass line back there. That's a really cool harmonic there as well. Just let that ring like that. And there's your shift. Really phenomenal use of electric guitars. Utterly in awe of how they use guitar work. Massive lead melodies there. Love how that those last lines on the last part have been brought up to the front there and fleshed out. Drums have moved forward, bass is back, rich, gorgeous, right up front. If you listen, the snare tone has changed. It's got a different attack to it, a bit more clangy. Probably recorded it with two different snares, and you still get both. That's cool. Very, very cool elements there in the mix. All right, the next track is Smiling Swine. Great swingy feeling again here. More of that cynical style of delivery. Hunter's stopped by the pimp and the priest, taking note of Hunter's obvious infatuation with misleading. He offers Hunter the job of being misleading's personal driver. Really cool fills and guitar work there. Outstanding. This sounds like something I get from Sabotage. Very cool. Really well done with the counting there, with his vocal line up front. Wow. It's a really cool layering, and the shifting on the layering there on the vocal. Xylophone comes back in. I really like how he uses that. It's a really cool fade feel in the mix there too. I like the different vocal accents he's using with different parts of his voice as opposed to the first time we went through it. I love how the bass is locking in with the piano. Cool falsetto usage there. This honestly makes me want to clap along, especially with the hand claps there at the back. Such a great bit of movement. Next track is Evicted.
From a soul constricted by the flame.
Really interesting how it's more of a keyboard melody as opposed to piano tones there. Really love the different vocal there. Perspective shifts away from Hunter into Misleading. Something about Hunter and their encounter has stirred something within her, disarming her in a way she's never felt before. So this is from Misleading's perspective. Really cool. Really cool change and feel. Once again, I love that drum work and the hi-hat and the snare feels there. Man, what a beautifully composed passage here. Love the vocal accents he's using while he stretches out certain lines. It still stays in this great melody. It's a great shift once again. Beautiful conversation feeling here. Keyboard accents have changed up slightly. That drum line is still staying the same. Great callback to the earlier track there. Going back to Bittersweet 1 and 2. That's awesome. Really cool lead there too. Love that faint vocal back there as well. There's so many little subtleties and nuances. It's utterly amazing. Like that slight shift in the drum cadence. Wow. I didn't want to interrupt. There was a couple of different changes there. Oh, so I'll just let you read them on your own. Next track is The Blood of the Rose. That's an upright bass, and that is beautiful.
Dance your decay. All the while, I know
That is gorgeous.
you're led astray. Sleep, sleep through your woe, while your voice slowly withers and melts away. Sing, sing it.
Whoa, what a change. That cello work is absolutely incredible. Wow. Along with the violin work.
Sangre de la rosa.
way they brought in the Spanish. He's brought in the Spanish elements there. Utterly beautiful. Wow, what a change vocally. Love that part of his voice.
That sifts through honest elegance.
The heart edition is so beautiful. I've said that a lot here. I'm pretty blown away by the different elements that get seamlessly woven into this gorgeous soundscape. The different vocal lines singing the same passage adds that really beautiful shades and contrast. That's just incredibly intense. Wow. Another seamless shift into the track, Red Hands, and I am utterly lost in this, guys. Drum shifted back to that beautiful resonant snare tone, really resonant kick sound. Clarity of that drum sound and these parts really helps make this wow, the addition of that beautiful piano layering here over this very emotional and twisting passage is something. Take off your sweater, your shoes, and your shirt, and get to work. Wow. Another really great use of backing vocals here. Maybe this is just a work of art. Scripted players in a play of love. Love the shift back to the electric basses there. Another seamless change. Another great change vocally to paint this part of the track, this part of the picture. Get more of that post-rock feel in the vocals here. Really cool guitar line.
If you're not red-handed, my darling, I would never say those words.
The emotional inner struggle here with Hunter is really well captured lyrically. Great build here with that snare. Love that anguish she's able to convey in that vocal. Wow. Love how they're using that chorus as a round. That's absolutely fantastic to bring that guitar accent in there. Absolutely beautiful. Unbelievable. Those little harmonics there at that guitar line. Harp. The way this man thinks and composes is just... I don't know how to put it into words. The next track is Where the Roads Part. A couple more here, guys and gals. And that is an incredible shift. Wow. I love that legato there in the lead where it's just happening. Our drummer has got so much feel to how he plays. It's just beautiful to listen to. Oh, that bit of vibrato and the refrain of his voice. Wow. Wow, runs there are giving me chills. That's incredible. Wow. The self-doubt feeling here. What a beautiful soundscape here. that richness in his voice. Really cool tremolo pick guitar part there. All these jazzy influences that ebb and flow in and out of these tracks. The fusion is just amazing. Love that noise like guitar work back there. Oh, I can't put into words how incredible this falsetto vocal passage is here. Wow, that put a smile on my face. I was wondering if he was going to build this, and he certainly did. Unreal. I can't call it unreal because it's real. Wow. Not what I expected, but kind of what I expected at the same time. Guess what I hoped? Love how they're coming out of that with a lead. Really cool effects. The layering here. In fact, the layering is not perfect, so you get some different textures there with the lead. Oh, wow. Next track is Dear Misleading. Wow. Love how it's written and leading like a letter. Great backing vocals yet again. Love what that percussion's building. Really like that guitar, that semi-dirty guitar tone there. Great job with those gang vocals yet again. That's some fantastic percussion right here. Wow. That's built so well. love that tremolo guitar line. Really cool, different vocal layers and textures there to present the listener with so much. It's a really cool lead. Normally I'd have more to say about it, but at this point I'm exhausted. This is such a ride. Whew. Another incredible track, an incredible ride. We've got two more. The next track is Black Sandy Beaches. What a change once again. Misleading standing out, reading the letter here, holding it in her hand on the shore. The subtle electric guitar textures back there, such a great accent, and I love how he kept them back there to not overpower the rest of it, the gentleness of it. That almost wild usage of falsetto there was such a great touch. Whew.
Further steps lead to yet another broken bottle. Again, the words contain a blended page. Whose tears were these which ran the ink from who they poured to make this streak? Were they his by chance from telling her, or hers by chance from reading it? They could have been collective, they could have been
really pretty lyrics here. So many emotions, so many questions. Wow.
Let's just say she is better off somehow. Let's just say she
Just rolling chills at this point up and down my spine here. There's all these little accents and nuances that just build this. With my emotions so stressed from the earlier parts of the record, it's just, I'm just kind of collapsing under the weight here. It's just incredible. Wow.
now.
Wow. Whew. The last and final track here is Vital Vessels Vindicate. We're going to fade into that here in about 20 seconds. Man. I love how you get those samples there, the seagulls. What you'd expect to hear on the beach or in the ocean. Oh, what a way to build into it. So many elements. Love that cool bit of what sounds like cowbell there.
Chances of escaping my heart are inadequate. And when all is said and done, I'm left with my hands stirring.
Wow. The vocal performance here is just stellar. Absolutely love the subtle piano passage and that movement and swing to it. Really love the use of the brass orchestra, the brass band feeling here. That's such cool. I'm amazed at how many different instruments he uses when they compose their tracks. Look how it's a descending line there. Very cool. Love the callback to Miss Terry's Lullaby from the first record. That is awesome. Outstanding, man. Love the samples here. Really subtle piano work. Just letting the listener fade through and experience a bit of the journey on the ship. As Hunter's left the city and he's going off to serve in World War One, I love how they're bringing in that military-style snare cadence, big percussion. The use of the orchestral percussion is so bombastic, it's so huge. Great use of the strings. I wondered if we were going to get some darkness there. Definitely get a bit. It's really interesting how just the samples and the sound effects with the subtle piano really let your mind take you to these places. It really does, to me, feel like either a big theatrical production or cinematic production in musical format. And I think that they do this better than the overwhelming majority of bands that I've heard. This is such an incredibly immersive experience and brilliant storytelling in musical format, and it's utterly incredible. It really is. I really didn't know what I was getting into from the first track I did from these guys, which I believe was off the third act, and then even Act 1. A lot of people have said that this series, these acts, get better as they go on, and so far, I would agree with you. That's unbelievable. It's in a way, it's indescribable to just put into words everything that I'm feeling. I feel like I need 6 to 10 more listens, and 6 to 10 more videos of this just to get it all into words and just to be able to pick out everything, because there's so many things that I've missed. This is an absolutely incredible experience. It's a challenge beyond a challenge for me. As I listen to this, to be able to pick out and highlight certain things that I'm hearing in the middle of so many incredible things, and staying attentive enough to be able to realize that I'm actually shooting video here and not just completely fade out and listen to it. It's a record that I don't want to say I'm happy. I'm sad to see it end, because in a way I'm actually kind of happy that it ended, because it's so powerful. There's so many emotions. this massive, gigantic weight that it straps on your back about midway through the record as we get into Smiling Swine, Evicted, Blood on the Rose, and Red Hands, and start rolling through this portion of the record where you have the emotional battle of Hunter realizing that Misleading is a prostitute, and then realizing that he knew she was a prostitute all along, but he's ashamed to admit it, and he's ashamed to admit his issues and how he acted were wrong. So it just straps this emotional weight on you, and it pulls you down and pulls you down and pulls you down. It does, and it resolves, but not necessarily in a happy way, because Hunter leaves instead of facing what happened. So it doesn't even completely remove the weight from you at the end of the record. But though immediately, like any good sequel, it makes you want to go right to the very next one. And I'm certainly very fortunate here because we've got 5 acts. I know I saw his video about March on the Facebook page, talking about Act 6, how he's still in the process of creating it. But so at least we know we're going to get 6 acts out of it. There's 5 out there, as well as some of the standalone records. Man, I can't imagine being a fan that's had to wait for years and years and years for each one of these records to come out, while you're just hanging on to it like a good book or a good series of movies. So that's incredible. And these records really are a challenge to do in the style that I do videos, because there's so much going on. There's a massive amount of layering and instrumentation and compositional things going on with all sorts of different instruments, and they're just like actors. They're playing different parts in the music, only they're instruments instead of people. But they still have their own voice, they still have their own lines, they still have their own part to play. And really harkens back to one of my favorite Sabotage tracks in Believe, and applying it to the instruments here, the person that I am, or the parts that I play. And it's just incredible. The mix is, the engineering, the recording process, the mix, it's brilliant. It's gorgeous. Hey, we've gotten through most of the video without my boy Sam singing the song to those people. So got through most of it without it. I figured I might get a little bit of it. It is midday here as I shoot this. And he is Barky Von Barkslot. But I've got no complaints. And there's so many great things to say here too, because if you notice throughout certain tracks, and I try to point them out the best that I can, certain levels will come up or down depending on how they want to portray each instrument or how they want to feature a certain part of the track. The use of different drum tones, especially the snare tone, the kick tone, throughout different tracks. You've got that big snappy snare. Sometimes there's a part in one of the tracks where it's a bit more clangy and more of that steel drum-ish feeling, as opposed to that rich resonant snap that throughout most of it. The bass will come up or down, the drums will come up or down, the vocal lines will come up or down, and certain instruments will be featured more than others depending on what textures they want, where and how they want the instruments to portray their parts in the play. And it's absolutely incredible, the amount of talent and ability and compositional prowess that it takes to do something, to compose something like this with so many elements is unbelievable. These guys, Casey, have such, I don't even know how to say it, really. You're listening to a rare talent here, guys and gals. I don't have to tell you that are Deer Hunter fans this, because clearly you already know. But it's, you don't get this level very often. He's able to get all those post-rock elements, the emo elements, the indie elements with jazz and metal and rock. There's a really cool piece where there's a great little lead that he's using, and it's just legato, meaning they're not picking, they're just tapping with fretting hand on the guitar to get this lead where and this little lead line, and it sounds so good, and it's used sparingly. And it's just, there's so many little nuances, little textures, little things that either you may or may not pick up, but they're there, and they're adding their voice, and they're adding to this incredible, beautiful, genre-defying soundscape. I don't want to classify this, I guess we'll say it's progressive rock, but there's just so much in it. There's so many different influences from so many different styles of music, and the fact that they're able to dial in period-like sounds, that great bluesy yet southern yet almost bluegrass-like feeling of the Oracles on Philadelphia Express. These big jazz, big band swing passages that flow in and out. Just amazing. Vocally, it's incredibly dynamic in so many ways. The man has just an immense voice. It's amazing just how good the vocals are. And phenomenal backing vocals as well. I don't have bad things to say. I really don't. This is one of those records that is as close to flawless as I would rate something on a first listen. And every time I know I have to do a Deer Hunter record, it's like, now that I know what they are, I don't want to do it in any mindset. I've got to make sure that I'm truly ready to do the record. And I don't want to force it, because it's such a roller coaster. It's such a ride. It takes you to so many different places that I want to be able to give you guys who are taking the amount of time to listen to what I have to say and listen to this with me and take this ride and this journey with me, the absolute best video that I can give you. So it takes me a little bit longer than some others. These are incredible emotional roller coasters full of amazing musicianship, brilliant composition, utterly incredible, intelligently written lyrics. Just if it's what I look for in progressive music, and it's all there. It's another one of those bands that I truly did not know I was missing until you guys showed them to me. And if you guys haven't heard the record by Astura, The Room, yet, you're a big fan of this, it's on Spotify. Go check out Astura's The Room. I did a video on that not too long ago. It's up on BitChute, because YouTube and their copyright things, it wouldn't play on YouTube. So it's up on BitChute. But if you like this, you'll probably like that. These guys really do throw the kitchen sink at you in a very similar fashion. They make it work. And I'm utterly blown away. I'm emotionally drained. I am wiped out. I didn't expect it. What a phenomenal record. Massive thank you for the support for doing these. Massive thank you to longtime Patreon subscriber who was asking me, been so patient with me for doing these records. Huge thank you there. And another gigantic thank you to Matt Giganti. I'm probably pronouncing your name wrong, dude. I'm so sorry. For the monumental amount of work that you're putting into these guides. I love it. It has these records have so much more impact on me because I'm able to follow through your guideline here and with the lyrics and everything. Once again, that will be in the description below, so you can follow along with me if you listen to it with me, or you can just follow it along on your own. You have a spot to go back to get a better idea of the story with the incredible amount of hard work that Matt has put in. So you guys have made this possible for me to do as well as I can do it. Thank you so very much. When I get to the next one, hopefully sooner than this, but no promises, because if I make a promise, I might not get to it in the time that I want to. Either way, hell of a ride, hell of a journey, hell of a record. There's so much more I want to say, but I don't know how to say it. I'm utterly overwhelmed, and I can just rant. So this has been an incredibly long video. As it is, I'm just going to end it. I give it a 9.9 off of first listen. It's just that good. It's what a ride. What an incredible experience. And it really is an experience. It's a story in musical format. It's a film for my ears. And I love it. I really do. Can't wait to get back to it at some point. Thank you guys. Thank you so very much. Thank you to my law enforcement, military, veterans, and first responders for what you guys do every single day. As always, you have been awesome. I've been Baldman. I'll see you in the next one. Be excellent to each other. Keep it banging.